I don't think winning starts in the mind. I know winning starts in the mind.
Only time you see my head down is when I'm praying. When my back is turned, the only time they wanna see it. Water on me, flow is cold as ice, I'm finna trade, yeah. And serve it to the people, they need hope, it's no delay. It's the odds against me. Back against the wall, my strength be.
First, you have to believe you can win. And in order to believe you can win, you have to be able to visualize a pathway that deep inside you actually can see yourself doing. I want to win Oceanside, April 9th or something, 2025. I want to win that race. And so then I think, okay, the game is progressing. It's not an Olympic year, so you're very likely going to have a lot of ITU guys there because it's a season opener. It's the first race in the Pro Series. You're going to have a lot of top tier ITU guys who are dabbling for a year. You're going to have probably Christian and Gustav. So you can have all these top tier athletes. So you know what you're getting into. You've got experience. Unfortunately, you have to have experience too to even understand, create a decent picture. You know that they're going to swim 22:30, maybe even 22:15. And so you know you've got to have any chance, for me, in my strengths and weaknesses, have that deficit under 90 seconds, which means I have to break 24. The closest I've ever been to breaking 24, I think, is like 24:20, and I've done it like once. And so it's something literally I have not done before, but it's something that I believe I can do if I really put my mind to it, get Coach Justin on board with the periodization, and we work crazy hard as a team with the goal of winning and achieving. That's part one. And literally that's just one tiny little aspect of it. Now you come out of the water 90 seconds down to these top tier ITU guys who are so well rounded. Okay, now you've got to bridge the gap because you ain't running them down. So how are you gonna bridge them down? I mean, I would say at least 400 watts. For how long? I'm not sure, but for quite a long time. At least 400 watts. And that might not be enough, but I do believe that's within myself. And then once you catch them, I mean, you got to put them under pressure. 360 watts, for sure. 360 average power, not normalized. Pushing the train if that's what's going on. And then now you're coming off the bike with top tier current crop ITU guys. The course record on that course is like 108 flat or something. I mean, you're going under 109. Hopefully you put them under pressure, but even if you did, you're going under 109 to beat them. All right, now I'm neck and neck. I literally am in the race in my mind right now, neck and neck with Leo Berger or whoever, these top tier ITU guys. And I am at least shoulder to shoulder with them in my mind. And then of course, you can put the icing on the cake in practice and watch yourself run away from them with 2K to go or something. And you can start to even build that into your program if you want. But that is how the process would go. That is how the process would go, and I believe that's how it has to go against the top tier guys because they're doing that process. And they're setting bars extremely high now because guys aren't afraid. Guys aren't listening to all this bullshit that that's not possible. It's not possible to consume 150 grams an hour. The science indicates you can't consume 150 grams an hour. It's impossible. Everyone's doing it. No one's listening to anything anymore. People are just, they're intuitive. They listen to their body and they're doing what they think is possible. And it turns out that more things are possible than what has previously been thought. Well, what you've just visualized basically in this whole thought experiment is the physical demand that you're going to ask of yourself on April 9th or whatever the date of Oceanside is. And so that literally is going to write the training for you, right? You know where you need to be on April 9th. So of course, on, let's just for simplicity, break it into 3-week chunks. You know, if January 1st or whatever is 12 weeks before that date, April 9th, something like that, it's a little more, but whatever. You know, 3 weeks out from that point, well, you damn well be in 109.15 off the bike shape, and you damn well be able to push 400 watts for 40 minutes and 360 for 80 or something like that. And you damn well better be in 24.15 shape. You know what I mean? And so that's how the process works. And at 6 weeks out and 3 weeks out, and then your starting point is where your starting point is. But you sort of can write the training and then set the benchmarks that you know if you hit this benchmark set, that you're in that equivalent shape that you need to be at this point in time. And if you're not here, then you have to sit down with your family or your coach or whatever and understand why, because that's what it's going to take to win, and I want to win, and I'm willing to work as hard as it takes to win. So why am I not hitting the benchmark that I need to hit right now? And do we need to make adjustments? And that's how the whole process will work. I mean, let's go with the swim. I can give you a benchmark in all 3 sets, in all 3 disciplines, that I would say you need to be knocking on the door by 9 weeks. So you're 3 weeks out. You're getting into kind of the fine-tuning phase. By 9 weeks, I mean, I would say I want to see 20 by 100 long course meters coming in 115 or hopefully better, 113s, leaving on 125. So I would ask of myself by 9 weeks to be damn well knocking on the door of that. And if you're not knocking on the door, well, you're not on pace to win. So you better start thinking about why. Are you starting to get a little overtrained? Do you need a little recovery? What is it? That would be the process that I would be going through. On the bike, let's just look at the top end requirements. I would be asking myself by 9 weeks to be able to do something of the ballpark of 3x20 straight TT, 400 plus watts, for sure. I would be expecting that of myself. For instance, in 2017, when I actually was doing half decent, I did 1 straight hour at 412. And then on the run, if you're gonna break 109 off the bike, you're probably really in sub 107 open shape, for me anyway, or maybe even, knocking on the door of 106 flat shape. And so what is 106 flat shape? I believe that's around 310 per kilometer. So I would expect for sure that you're knocking on the door of a set of 7x2K holding 615, that's 307 and a half off of no more than a minute and a half rest. If you can do all 3 of those things concurrently around week 9, then you're on track for week 12, the taper, and then you put it all together with no recovery in a race, and you're knocking on the door being able to achieve your goal. I would say if you're not having days where you look at your wife, or I'm gonna look at Aaron and be like, oh, I don't know what I got myself into. If you don't have days like that, or I go to Coach Justin and I'm like, Coach, I mean, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I mean, that is like the right before the point where you're gonna start to go to the next level, right? Because that's where the brain, I am a big believer. I think David Goggins is one guy who has said this, like, you're never near the limits of your actual capacity. You are always holding yourself far back from your actual capacity.
So the 40% rule is like we have like a car. We have that ability in us, but we have put this governor on our minds. And you have to, the factory that put the governor on that car, the factory is now you that put that shit on your fucking mind. You gotta take that motherfucker off. It means I had to change one thing, my mindset. It was in me. I had to believe to make that belief work. And through hard work, I did that.
But oh man, my body and mind are gonna put up a fight to not have to do it. They are gonna fight me to not have to do it, and I'm so excited. Remember the video in my training room where I was crying, that made me cry of joy, of just beautiful, like the carnal emotion of being at your limit and saying, no, I refuse, I'm going further. You're not gonna die, man. You promise you're not gonna die. You'll be all right. And then you gives way to joy on the other side.
So the question is, what advice would you give someone who struggles to believe in themselves? What would you even tell yourself when you didn't believe in yourself? What would you say to yourself in your Kona camp this year?
To myself in my Kona camp this year, I would say, man, do you believe in yourself? You've got to believe in yourself. It's the most important thing. Like, that is literally what created any success I've ever had. It was a belief in myself. Like, nobody believed in me in the beginning other than my mom and dad. Nobody believed, like, and then I was able to win. I was able to start winning because I drove myself, and I said, I don't care if you don't believe.
But sometimes you're going to be sitting on the couch and you have a big daunting workout. Where do you call on inspiration? What do you call on to get yourself off the couch?
If we're being honest with you, that's so personal. Where does one call inspiration from? That's such a personal thing, you know? My little boy. Big one now is my little boy. You know, I want to have given this everything and tried and failed, but tried with every ounce of my being and failed to say, Levi, that is a good life. That is a great, what I got from that is like one of the most valuable experiences, aside from your birth, which is probably the most valuable experience in the most like rich experience. Having a child, it's the most rich experience I think you'll ever experience. Other than that, and of course the love of my wife and familial things, of all the things that I'll do in my life, this is like, this pursuit and giving it everything for me has been so powerful. And so then to sort of disrespect this opportunity I've been given, I still believe that I was given this from above. I still believe that. It popped into my head in a dark place that I needed to change my life. So to disrespect that opportunity by not having given it everything and done everything in the best of my knowledge, that's my motivation right now, is to be able to one day sit with Levi, and he's older and maybe he's interested in something and he wants to pursue something, or he's passionate about something, and say, buddy, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you're passionate about it, follow it, and follow it with every ounce of your being, and give your entire being to it. And because that's where satisfaction will come from. It don't come from your bank account and all that crap. It comes from, of course, you gotta eat, and you gotta have a roof over your head. But that stuff will come if you devote yourself to something and are passionate about it.